And we're back with the Elite Eight. Okay, Elite Eight, game one. We have Stalwart SEO coming against Cinderella Story Email. Now, these are two programs, Guy, one of which is hanging on by a thread from a budget perspective. The other puts more money into its program than any others. Who comes out on top here, Guy?
I'm taking email. If you twist my arm, if you twist my arm and you take an inclusive look at all the things that you can do with email, in terms of staying in touch with former clients, networking, referral sources, nurture campaigns, I think email, that's the core. I mean, I think a good practice, good program is founded off of good use of email. It's tough because you know how we feel about SEO. Take an email on this one.
Email coming through strong, a surprise upset to SEO due to the flexibility and the many different tactics from which you can deploy email. For example, uploading your list, feeding those lists back into Google Ads to make sure that Google knows not just when you are getting those clicks, but that you're actually getting the conversions. There is so much more that email can do. Your email database, a huge asset. Email comes up with a huge upset over perennial favorite SEO because of the ubiquity with which you can deploy your email lists. Wow.
Custom audiences from downtown.
Hits a 3. All right. Game 2 of the Elite Eight. We have Referrals coming up against Facebook. Referrals versus Facebook. Guy. Who comes out?
This is a tough one. This is another one too. In some ways, these programs share some similar characteristics, right? Because Facebook can be a great place to get lawyer-to-lawyer referrals or other types of referrals, and a lot of consumers are actually going to Facebook to seek referrals. But if you twisted my arm and said, "Hey, look, it's referrals or Facebook," I'm taking referrals. They might not be as reliable. They might be a little more streaky, depending on if your referral sources have referrals to send you. But at the end of the day, I think a strong program is really built around building a reputation and relationships to generate those referrals. So I'm taking referrals over Facebook.
Facebook falls on its face against referrals due primarily to the absolutely shitty interface that require expensive coaches and consultants to navigate. A team that has so much promise and yet is such a disaster to work with. Keep it simple, baby. They lose. Referrals trounces Facebook in game 2.
Yeah, and you can't even get rid of spam reviews on your Facebook page. I mean, come on.
Come on, Facebook.
This is madness.
It is madness. All right, we've got the double L matchup for the next game. LinkedIn versus local service ads. Guy, LinkedIn versus local service ads. Who comes out on top?
Man, you tell me what you think on this one. This is a tough one. I don't know. I'm going to have to reflect on it. What do you got?
So at the game, what we found is that local service ads didn't show up. No one knows why. They missed the bus. They weren't there. They were there yesterday. They didn't even make it into the game. We've sent emails out. We've called the people who know people. No one figures out why local service ads didn't show up, but they're gone. They were so strong yesterday. They failed today because they just didn't show up. LinkedIn over LSAs.
It's probably those fake players.
No, that was the local search players, man.
Oh, well, it applies to local. So actually, another breaking news item, you can actually report for the first time fake reviews on the local services ad platform now. So as well. So if you see competitors who've got fake reviews on LSAs, pick up the phone or the mouse to contact Google.
Wow. Guy recommends reporting them to the NCAA for recruiting infractions.
That's
wow.
Right.
Are we taking these metaphors or buzzwords too far?
Taking a lot of liberty. A lot of liberties here.
A lot of liberty. I can't wait to hear from the NCAA about please do not use our trademarks in your next blog, in your next podcast. All right. Last game of the Elite Eight. We have Intake up against Old Stalwart and trying to stay relevant, Bing. Is Bing still relevant or does Intake take the day?
This is an easy one for me. Again, intake is just so important. You can't, if intake goes down, it's like, why are we even bothering to play the game anymore? All of these other teams just pale in comparison to the value of the solid intake team.
Intake coming on strong. Bing just cannot compete. Just can't stay with intake. Getting intake right means everything else works better. And unfortunately, Bing is just contributing such a small portion and frequently a negligible, a zero portion of business to law firms that it is becoming increasingly irrelevant. I suspect we will not see their program last and show up again next year. All right. Final four.
Down to the final four. Now it gets interesting, folks.
Now it gets interesting. We have remaining a 14 seed email up against 5 seed referrals, LinkedIn an 8 seed, and intake a 13. We've got upsets all over the place. Mathematically, almost impossible, will never happen, but that's what you get when you listen to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing. Okay, final four. Game one. Mr. Sakalakis, email versus come number 5, referrals. Who takes the day?
Again, I can't get past referrals. Referrals come in many different forms. They're the cornerstone. They always have been. We've known the importance of referrals. They might not be the most showy of the teams. They might not be the most shiny, but when you've got a nice team of referrals coming in, they're just so hard to beat. Reputation and relationships all day. I'm taking referrals into the final.
And referrals game has been strengthened dramatically with the widespread deployment of sophisticated intake management software. So referrals, although it is an oldie, is really polishing their game with new technology that is now extremely widespread. So which has given referrals the edge over email. Referrals hands down over email. Next game, LinkedIn over intake. This game went into overtime. Guy, what happened in overtime?
So it was close, went back and forth. LinkedIn, social proof, short video content, top of mind awareness, brand affinity. But at the end of the day, all of those leads that came in through LinkedIn, they just don't matter when intake shows up. Because intake is the team that takes you from leads to fees.
Leads to fees. That sounds like we should trademark that for team intake. Intake takes the day, beats referrals. Interestingly, in our finals, we have 2 non-digital players. Really don't rely heavily on technology. It is a surprise in this tournament.
Well, we say that, but let's make a note here. Referrals happen online. Referrals happen via email. Referrals happen on social media. Intake, yes, you could do it with a pen and paper, but you can also do it with forms and CRM solutions and virtual receptionists. So they're more conceptual. And like I said when we laid this out, we felt like we were kind of cheating with these 2 in particular. But nonetheless, eventually in the tournament, the cream rises to the top, and now we've got a tough finals matchup. Conrad, what are you taking, referrals or intake?
Referrals over intake. Interestingly, during the game, what we found increasingly is that when the referral game is strong, nothing else matters. Intake doesn't matter because referrals can just outperform intake over and over again. Intake can be the crux when everything's going wrong, but if referrals are playing a strong game, hitting the threes over and over again, passing, it's a team effort. Referrals has a deep bench, right? They don't have 5 players on the field. They've got a bench of 150 different people contributing to that game. And referrals won hands down because intake didn't matter when referrals were strong.
That's right. I mean, the one thing we've kind of joked about in the past, but like the one context that people might actually leave you a voice message or not be on to the next lawyer after a search is with a strong referral, because you've got the qualified referral. It's from a trusted source. They're going to give you some time. They're going to give you the benefit of the doubt to get back to them. And because you're pre-vetted by the referral, folks are they're seeking you out. You're the attorney they're looking for, and so that wins the day. Even if you screw up the intake process, you're still going to get the benefit of the doubt.
All right. So with that, if we have not lost you due to our overuse of basketball metaphors and puns, thank you for listening to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing. We will be back. We did a great job of only mentioning Michigan once. We will be back and see you soon. Thank you so much for joining us. Legal March Madness out.
Thank you for listening to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing. If you'd like more information about what you heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via Apple Podcasts and RSS. Follow Legal Talk Network on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.